I wasn't ready to make a sequel until we had a special story worthy of a sequel.
Tom freaking Cruise, the Hollywood star who's been around forever, the man who's done a little, well, a lot of everything. Tom Cruise is back as Pete Mitchell in Top Gun: Maverick. The franchise that made him a star at age 24 welcomes his return at almost 60, a much expected sequel. But how much has Tom Cruise changed between the two movies? Does the actor known for pulling his own stunts still got it? What did he have to do to revisit this iconic character from his past? Let's fly high and dive deep into Tom Cruise's preparation to become Pete Maverick Mitchell. The first Top Gun is a 1980s classic. It launched the young Cruise to stardom and marked a whole generation with its electrifying flying sequences. But if anyone was expecting a sequel to the action thriller since its release, they had to be patient.
For years, the studios wanted me to do it. Audiences have wanted me to do it. I've gone around the world. And there was just a moment where Jerry Bruckheimer wanted to do it, and he came to me, we were talking about it, and we just came up with some good ideas. And it was just that moment I thought, if I'm gonna ever do this, now's the time.
There's a 34-year gap between the two movies, but the long wait brought a lot to the table. Themes like aging, mortality, and the passage of time gave the movie much more depth than the public expected. But one of the main reasons Tom Cruise was ready to revisit Maverick now was the possibility of bringing the audience closer to the experience of flying jets.
Until technology evolved, so we could delve deeper into the experience of a fighter pilot.
It was imperial to Tom Cruise that the movie portrayed the experience inside the cockpit. No green screen and no VFX. As a big aviation fan, Tom Cruise wanted the film to be a gift to the audience, a unique chance to experience the magic of flying jets. Top Gun: Maverick is Cruise's love letter to aviation, but his obsession with realism demanded a challenging preparation for himself and his classmates alike. Luckily, the star was ready to take care of them all. Tom Cruise's over 40-year experience in the industry taught him a lot about filmmaking and how to truly connect with the audience. So, for the actor, everyone involved in making Maverick needed to be aware of the many details that make a film good and realistic.
Look, I'm here to entertain you. That's the privilege of my job. I love it. I love making all different kinds of movies. And with Top Gun, I felt that one of the things that we can deliver to an audience is that kind of experience.
Right.
So when you're seeing the G-force, it's not a computer-generated image, it's actually the actors in there and being the characters. And you'll see throughout, I mean, the aerial footage is really beautiful.
To have actors actually fly in fighter jets, one needs more than a killer smile and a lot of money. The whole cast of Top Gun 2 had to undergo an aerial boot camp, including Cruise, who hadn't flown a jet since the 90s. Cruise decided to start a flight training program to prepare himself and his classmates to perform while safely handling the intensity of the Gs. The film director, Joseph Kosinski, told The Ringer about Tom's expectations. He knew the goal was to not only get his footage in the plane, but to get them all in the planes, Kosinski says. He just wanted them to be prepared, and he knew exactly what it was going to take. Tom Cruise is a pilot himself, and he leaned on his knowledge and experience to create a program that would help the actors build up their G-force tolerance and get ready to feel the pressure of the cockpit.
It is aggressive. You can't act that. The distortion in the face. I started them out in a single-engine airplane to build up their spatial awareness. Next, we took them to the L-39.
From there, they'd graduate to the F-18 Super Hornet.
It was just all about G tolerance. Getting to the point where you just keep working up the Gs so you don't black out when you're actually up there.
It wasn't only about learning to stay conscious and not puke in the air. For safety reasons, the actors also needed to undergo underwater training, so they knew how to escape and survive in case they were force ejected into the water.
The Navy says if you eject, you have to be able to survive in the water. So we had to go through that challenging underwater program.
Look at the videos. It's safe to say that the aquatic exercises were perhaps the most challenging part of the preparation. Being flipped over and getting out before drowning seems like it would be a lot of work if you're not an actual pilot. But for Tom Cruise, no mission is impossible. And as intense as this may seem, crazy speeds weren't the only thing the cast had to overcome to make this movie happen. They also had to master the art of filmmaking. As it turns out, when you're flying in a jet at unfathomable speed, there's no film crew there to operate the camera for you. So, the actors and actual pilots had to learn about the camera, lighting, and editing.
I had to teach the actors about how to become pilots and the fighter pilots that were flying them to understand cinematography and editing. And I also took them through editing and lighting so that when you were up there, you knew how to start the cameras, turn them off, and performance. There's very specific things to understand this kind of performance because we didn't have that much time with these aircraft because we were feathered into their training program. So they had to be absolutely spot on.
The film worked with a new technology that allowed 6 IMAX quality cameras inside the cockpit with the actors. And the result is almost as breathtaking as those underwater exercises.
Everybody thought it would be impossible for actors to really be in the jets.
But that's the gift that Tom gave us, that by the time we got up there, we could handle it.
Although realistic, Top Gun still leans on the magic of cinema to tell its story, since the actors didn't actually pilot the jets themselves. Well, all except one, Mr. No Stunt Double Tom Cruise. Having a pilot license, Cruise flew real fighter jets and helicopters in the new Top Gun. However, there was one aircraft not even the superstar got authorized to fly, the F-18 Hornet. Even though Cruise had jumped out of mountains in motorcycles, parachuted out of planes, climbed cliffs and buildings, and skydived with a broken ankle, the US Navy did not find it safe for the actor to pilot the F-18 jet by himself. Throughout the course of his career, Tom Cruise has said he's an entertainer before anything else. He makes movies for the audience to enjoy and is a big believer in the big screen. So much that Top Gun Maverick's release was postponed for over 1 year due to the pandemic while offers by streaming platforms were declined. When the movie finally hit the theaters, it exceeded expectations. The film became the highest grossing film of Cruise's career and the second highest grossing film of 2022. This only proves that Tom Cruise's effort to become his characters and make the magic of his movies as authentic as possible, even at 60 years old, does pay off.
I'm very proud of what we all accomplished. Each one of them are extraordinary.
Amongst the many, what is your favorite Tom Cruise character and why? Let us know by commenting down below.